Selene accused me of having an affair with her fiancé and claimed my newborn baby was his, since we're both Hispanic, and she insisted on a DNA test, so I got one to show she was mistaken. But now she says I've destroyed her life and her engagement is finished. So 2 weeks ago, I gave birth to my first child, my son. My husband and I have been together for the last 6 years and married for 2 years now. We've known each other's families for quite a while, and I've known his sister Riley for a good amount of time. She and I aren't particularly close, but we get along politely. Everything that's unfolded lately has been a real surprise to everyone. 2 weeks ago, when my son arrived, both our families came to visit and supported us through labor and delivery. Even then, things seemed completely ordinary. It was only a few days ago, when we had his family over for a meal, that everything turned sour. We were enjoying ourselves at first, but suddenly Riley began behaving oddly. She stepped out of the room for a short break, but she didn't come back. Her fiancé, Roman, followed her. Then a little while later, we heard raised voices and tried to overlook it. But soon Roman and Riley entered the living room, and Roman just left after saying he couldn't handle this nonsense. It was clear he was deeply upset about something. Riley was in tears too. After he left abruptly, we asked her what was happening. Then she spun around and began blaming me for wrecking her life and messing everything up for her. She labeled me as self-centered and a betrayer. None of it added up because I had no clue what she meant. My husband had to soothe her a bit since she was utterly frantic. Then the facts emerged. For some unknown reason, she had convinced herself that I'd had a fling with Roman and the child was his because he resembled him too much. And let me assure you, that's absolute nonsense. I also think it's prejudiced. It's simply because Roman and I are both Hispanic. Naturally, there might be some similarity due to sharing the same background. My son is half Hispanic too. That's all there is to it. I don't believe my son looks like Roman at all, except perhaps the skin tone. And even that isn't very alike. It was a massive claim without any evidence. I was outraged that she'd make such a statement. I was ready to argue with her over it, but my husband held me back because he sensed something was off with her then. He said reasoning with her at that moment would be useless. When she was having a meltdown in my living room that day, only her family spoke to her, but I stayed silent knowing it was pointless given her state. I let my husband and his parents handle her while she continued yelling, and I took my baby to another room until they departed. Once she left, my husband explained to me that Riley demanded a DNA test to confirm my son wasn't connected to Roman, or she wouldn't proceed with the wedding. She'd cancel everything. That's what she'd told Roman, and that's what sparked their argument earlier. That's why he walked out. After learning the details of the dispute, I don't fault him at all for leaving, as it was highly offensive. Not only to him, but to me as well. My husband said there was no reason for me to comply with any of this. I didn't have to do a DNA test just to satisfy Riley, as it was obvious she was dealing with issues. I shouldn't trouble myself since it wasn't my responsibility, but I told him I would do the test and send her the results to make her see how incorrect she was. Honestly, that day I felt deeply embarrassed and wasn't going to drop it. I didn't care if she was struggling or not. I despised the implication that I'd been involved with Roman and that the baby wasn't my husband's, that I'd been unfaithful. It was all unfounded. She was just paranoid for some reason, and I couldn't tolerate it. So I went ahead with the DNA test, and yesterday the results arrived, confirming the baby is my husband's. He and I forwarded a copy to both her and Roman. Roman didn't reply, but she did. She tried to reach us, at least attempted it. She began calling and messaging us, and we ignored her because by then I'd decided I didn't want to communicate. Since I didn't want to engage, my husband avoided her too. We'd also discussed this with my in-laws, and they suggested leaving her alone for now, as something was clearly affecting her. So we followed their guidance. We didn't respond, and she kept trying to call and text, but we didn't reply. So she showed up at our home at 11 p.m. She rang the doorbell frantically and screamed wildly outside. It was quite disturbing. We didn't want her causing a scene in front of the neighbors, especially late at night. So I opened the door to let her inside so we could discuss privately without it being public. Then we had to settle her down because the baby was asleep and we didn't want him disturbed. Eventually, she quieted a bit and spoke softer, but she remained distraught, pleading for us to contact Roman and fix things, claiming she'd been mentally unstable a few days ago and had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which is unfortunate. But I don't know what we can do here. After getting our results, she tried to contact Roman to apologize, as they'd been silent since the fight at our place. After he left, he likely went to their home because when Riley arrived, some items were missing and he was gone. But she didn't reach out then. She was still angry with him, though she regretted her actions too. For days after the argument, they had no communication, and she made no effort either. Now that she knows she was wrong, she wants reconciliation, but he's unresponsive, and she believes she's blocked, which is likely. Now she wants our assistance to reunite with him. But I doubt he's interested, and if I were him, I wouldn't be. Last night, calming her and getting her to leave was tough. I did pity her somewhat because she shared her bipolar diagnosis and such. But ultimately, it's not our fault. It might explain things, but it doesn't justify her conduct, as it was awful for everyone. I don't believe we owe her any aid. She caused this herself and should handle it alone, but I still feel a bit guilty for not assisting. That's only due to her mental health, nothing more. Am I wrong for not wanting to help my sister-in-law reconcile with her fiancé? Update 1. Hello everyone. It's been 2 weeks since my previous post, and many developments have occurred since then. But first, thanks to all who commented supportively on my story. I appreciate it greatly. Now, regarding Riley, things aren't positive currently. It's as if she's isolated while the family is united. Honestly, she has no one to fault but herself. After her hysterical visit that night, begging for help to contact Roman, we stopped responding because we had nothing more to add. I reviewed the replies to my post and realized this wasn't my blame. I sympathize with her condition, but it's not my duty. As I said, it's a reason, not a justification. My husband and I talked and decided to step back and let her manage it. We consulted his parents, who agreed this is between her and Roman. I don't get why she approached us, as we're not close to him. He's her fiancé, that's our only link. If he's unwilling to talk, we can't force it. Even if we tried, there's little we could do. We avoided escalating only because of her mental state. That's all. It surfaced poorly, and she should have informed us earlier, but she didn't. That was her decision, which we honor. But it's our choice to stay out. She should have respected that, but she didn't. She gave us a few days. She persisted in contacting us all. When no one replied, she escalated the drama. None of us wanted that. It wasn't just aimed at me and my husband, which might have been comprehensible. But she involved her parents unnecessarily, though they did nothing. She chose to share this on Facebook. I can't fathom her goal. It's not like people will side with her due to her diagnosis, because her actions were truly troubling and incorrect. Ironically, if she wanted sympathy, she could have just mentioned her diagnosis without admitting her faults. But she was fully truthful in her post, which I somewhat respect. But it backfired because she detailed everything accurately, and now people oppose her, urging her to apologize to us rather than posting and alienating us further, as it's clear this isn't our fault. The family consensus is we're blameless. Regardless of her bipolar, she can't pin this on us. Her actions were inappropriate. Roman was justified in leaving over what she said. It was unwarranted. It's surprising we even accommodated her by doing the DNA test and sharing results. That was beyond necessary, as such claims are degrading and shouldn't be indulged. Now she's publicized it, harming only herself. Most people agree, yet she hasn't removed the post but disabled comments and blocked us, so we don't know the current status. But relatives send us screenshots. Everyone in comments supported us until she shut them down. We've said nothing, as there's no point. She's certain we're somehow guilty and refuses to acknowledge her issues. I get her condition worsens it, but I can't overlook it. It's been over a week and the post remains despite family backlash. I don't know her thoughts. She's worsening her situation. If she allowed, we could assist, but she won't. She prefers portraying others as villains and herself as victim. Fine then, regarding Roman, no word from him, but his family contacted. His parents informed my in-laws the wedding is canceled, obviously due to the unneeded remarks. Roman is deeply wounded. He truly loved Riley and wanted marriage, but she hid secrets, including the diagnosis. They'd had issues for months. The diagnosis explains much, but he wonders why she told no one. I understand stigma around mental health, but not sharing worsens things. She's educated and progressive, as are we. She could have discussed it and we'd help fully. But now she seems unwilling. She just blames others. No one knows how to respond. It's fair for Roman to exit as things have changed. When his parents contacted my in-laws, they apologized for Riley. They tried mediating for Roman and Riley to resolve amicably, but he refused contact. I understand why. That was days ago. Since we're not speaking to Riley, we couldn't inform her. This is all tragic. I wish she'd see her self-sabotage and let us help. We're not adversaries. She must realize that. She needs to apologize for publicizing this unnecessarily. Thankfully, people side with us, but it's still humiliating. Whatever happens, unless she apologizes to me, I won't engage. The most is sympathy. Beyond that, nothing. Importantly, I'm occupied. I just had a baby weeks ago, so I'm drained emotionally and physically, and she's amplified it. I don't want contact. My husband feels similarly. Even her parents are displeased now. She's isolated. Only she can fix this. If she repairs ties, great. If not, I won't try. She's ruined her engagement. I don't know her family plans, but the past 2 weeks were intense, hoping time improves it. Thanks for letting me vent and for comment support. It's kind of you. Really, thank you. Update 2, hi. A week since my last update, I've avoided dwelling on this, and it's helped because obsessing is pointless. She's chosen her path as an adult. She can manage alone. My husband and I avoided the chaos, benefiting us. Last night, we hosted his parents and mine for dinner. This gathering was far better than before, definitely. We enjoyed it, and my mom shared photos on Facebook. Somehow Riley viewed them, as my mom didn't block anyone and shouldn't need to, being uninvolved. But Riley saw and raged. She didn't confront us but went to her parents early this morning. By early, I mean 7 or 8 a.m. Why wake early for drama? Anyway, she did. My in-laws said she was furious. She acted like before. She arrived, pounded the door wildly, screamed and cried, accusing them of excluding her unjustly, complicating her life, and blaming them for her illness now. At that hour, they couldn't let her continue outside, inconvenient for them and neighbors. So they let her in, tried calming her like we did, but she was uncontrollable, yelling accusations of life's wrongs unfairly. From what I know, my in-laws aren't parents to blame. They raised their kids well. Riley's in her late 20s. She can't blame parents forever. People must own mistakes. Recent events are her fault entirely, no debate. She created this and can't fault her parents, especially not for Roman. That mess was self-made. No basis to suspect me and Roman. We've barely interacted without her. No reason for her claims, but she made them. Now it's my fault, his, her parents, everyone's but hers. Sorry, that's invalid. She can't excuse everything with her condition. It's improper. Her parents explained gently when she arrived, but she wouldn't listen. She's fixated on not being the villain. No one can oppose her, that's her focus. I don't grasp her behavior. I don't know her issues or plans. She's stressing all and unaware of her damage. By realization, it'll be late, I foresee that. This time since she came, my in-laws mentioned the talk with Roman's parents ending the engagement. Bad idea as she exploded. She went berserk. She hurled objects, broke items, caused chaos morningly, then left after cursing them. Their fault? Unknown. Roman had ended it already. His parents just formally told hers. That's it. Doesn't blame others, but she insists it's theirs. As if informing her would have saved it, her engagement. She should have acted. She ruined it. She should have contacted Roman to prevent, but didn't. She did as pleased, now blames all. I don't comprehend her mindset. This is bizarre. She's causing trouble, and I don't see how she expects family tolerance. My in-laws said she smashed things, disrupted, cursed, left. What fault theirs? Roman broke off. Parents communicated formally. But anyway, she's chosen this, thinking it's okay due to diagnosis. Whatever, she's lost us, certainly. I ignore her diagnosis. She insulted me. Post still up, I'm finished. The initial accusation of involvement with Roman, child not husband's, should have ended it. I should have cut ties then, but I accommodated my error, thought resolvable, but she's uninterested, so fine. She can proceed as wished. She's lost fiancé, now family support. Good for her. Update 3, so a month since last update, not much change. But family won't speak to Riley. Wedding next week cancelled, obviously. She stopped contacting too. Deactivated socials, from what I know moved out, changed cities, no contact. Hope she succeeds. Hope she improves, but hope no future involvement. For my family, we're fine. Son happy, healthy, husband and I good. In-laws miss Riley occasionally, but accepted as they tried hard without success. She chose no ties, acted on it. Little they could do. We all hope eventual resolution. But till then, best wishes. No resentment anymore, but can't normalize with her. That's okay. Not everyone must mesh, especially after hurt.